me see what I can read in here. Oh, I know it's a little story I can read. Is everybody doing okay? I hope I'm not rambling, but if I am, it's too bad, because that's pretty much how I get through life. I'm just a rambling kind of girl. So. Well, you asked about the balloon. Maybe I'll, he was asking me, well, a different balloon. I'll just read about, a little bit about New Year's Eve. This doesn't really have any plot line, or might not even be funny because I haven't read it for a long time, but I just picked it. New Year's Eve was pretty much the same story with no particular resolution. As thousands of drunken revelers dispersed in Times Square, my little Abyssinian cat circled the floor with me as I paced, wrestling with a poem I was aiming to finish to usher in the new year, in homage to the great Chilean writer Roberto Bolaño. When I was reading his Amulet, I noted a passing reference to the hecatomb, an ancient ritualistic slaughter of 100 oxen. I decided to write a hecatomb for him, a 100-line poem. It was a way to thank him for spending the last stretch of his brief life racing to finish his masterpiece, 2666. If only he could have been given special dispensation, been allowed to live, for 2666 seemed set up to go on forever, as long as he wished to write. Such a sad portion of injustice served to the beautiful Bolaño, to die at the height of his powers at 50 years old. The loss of him and his unwritten work denying us at least one secret of the world. As the last hours of the year ticked away, I wrote and rewrote and recited the lines aloud. But as the ball dropped in Times Square, I realized I had written 101 lines by mistake, and I couldn't face figuring out which one to sacrifice. It also occurred to me that I was inadvertently invoking the slaughter of the kin of the glowing bone oxen watching over the Christ child in the little crèche on my bookcase. That brings to mind a thought. Do you ever see these Hallmark movies on TV? You know what I'm talking about? They're supposed to be sort of square, nice movies, like feel-good movies and romance things, you know. And there's all these Christmas ones, but I actually experimented and watched several, and not one of them had a Christ child in it. Not one of them had a reference to, you know, I mean, no matter what you believe in, wasn't Christmas supposed to be celebrated because it was Jesus' birthday? I mean, that's what I learned when I was a little kid, you know, and it's about children and about the baby Jesus and bringing presents to the child. But it's like, there wasn't anything like that in any of them. And these are like, you know, really square shows. And even the square, that you know that spiritually we're in trouble when even the squares aren't mentioned in Jesus.